We didn't know we were living in a haunted house. We didn't find out from a ghost. We didn't find out from a psychic. We found out from a TV show. A friend texted me one night, "Hey, isn't that your old house?" I stared at the message for a few seconds. Then I opened the link, and suddenly I was looking at the house where my family had lived for years. Let me back up. This story starts with my grandmother. She lived alone in an old house in a neighborhood that had a lot of history. For years, she told us the same strange thing. Something sits on the bed with me at night. Not stands, not walks past. Sits. She said she could feel the mattress sink beside her, like someone had quietly sat down next to her. The strange part was that she never seemed terrified. She talked about it almost casually, like she was describing a creaky floorboard. Then one day, in that same house, in that same bedroom, she had a heart attack. She died right there. Afterward, my family decided not to sell the house. We moved in. At first, it was just Grandma's house, familiar, safe, nothing seemed unusual. Then my parents started sleeping in her old bedroom. One morning, my mom suddenly asked me something. "Do you ever feel like something is sitting on the bed?" I froze. We had never told her what Grandma used to say. She had no reason to know. But somehow she felt the exact same thing. Then the little things started happening. Objects would disappear from where we left them. Not stolen, not thrown across the room, just moved. A set of keys would be on a table instead of the counter. A book would be somewhere it shouldn't be. Everything looked almost normal, almost. But for me, the worst part of the house was the stairs. Every time I went upstairs, I ran. I couldn't explain why. The moment my foot touched the first step, I would feel the hair on the back of my neck stand up. Then came the feeling. Something was behind me. Something was below me. And somehow, it felt like it wanted me to come back down. I felt as if something was pulling me toward the basement. I told my friends. They laughed. "You're just scared of the dark. Old houses make weird noises. You're being dramatic." So eventually I stopped talking about it. I just kept running up those stairs. Eventually we sold the house. We didn't tell the buyers about what we'd experienced. Not because we were hiding something. Honestly, we didn't even know if there was anything to tell. We barely believed ourselves. Years passed. The house became nothing more than an old memory. Until one night my phone buzzed. It was my friend. "Have you seen the episode with your old house?" I had no idea what he was talking about. Then he sent me a link. The house had been featured on a paranormal investigation show. The family who bought it after us had started experiencing strange things. The weight on the bed, objects moving around the house, strange activity in the basement. Eventually, things became so disturbing that they called a paranormal investigation team. And then I watched the episode. They described the house. They described the bedroom. They described the basement. And then they said something that made my stomach drop. They believed there were multiple spirits inside the house. But that wasn't the part that scared me most. They talked about a presence near the stairs. A presence that seemed to pull people toward the basement. The exact same feeling I had experienced years earlier, before I knew anything about paranormal investigations, before I knew anyone else had felt it, before I even knew the house had a reputation. And then they started talking about the history of the property. According to the investigators, the land had a dark history long before the house was built. There were stories connected to old burial grounds and deaths in the area. The neighborhood itself had once been associated with organized crime. Old houses, old secrets, old tragedies. And our house had been sitting right in the middle of it all. But here's the part I still can't explain. My grandmother felt something sitting beside her at night. My parents felt the exact same weight in the exact same bedroom. And I felt something pulling me toward the basement. 3 generations. The same house, different people, the same strange experiences. And then the family who lived there after us described the exact same things. We never met them. We never told them our story. They couldn't have known what we had experienced. Yet somehow their experiences matched ours. Maybe there was a logical explanation. Maybe old houses can make people feel things they can't explain. Maybe fear changes the way we remember things. Or maybe something really was inside that house. Something that had been there long before we arrived. And perhaps it stayed there long after we left. We didn't stick around long enough to find out, so if someone ever tells you that their house feels wrong, that something sits beside them at night, or that something waits at the bottom of their stairs, maybe don't laugh. Maybe ask them one question. What room does it happen in?